Thank you very much. What an awesome crowd this is today. I'm really happy I wore my good Spanx. You know, I love being in the company of people who are passionate about life, people who have a curiosity and a creativity and really love life. It's in times like these when our bags are a little bit lighter. See, each and every one of you, when you walked into this auditorium today, you walked in carrying a bag. It wasn't your purse or your backpack, but it was an invisible bag in which you packed all of your experiences, all your thoughts about those experiences. It holds hopes and dreams, fears and worries. And some days that bag gets really heavy, and it's hard to carry around. So I think right now, in this environment, it's a great time to ask yourself, what's in your bag? The answer to that question might not be as easy as it first appears. You see, our bags have two sides. There's the inside of the bag, and then there's the outside. And the outside is that side that we like to dress up. It's the side we like to make look pretty so that people will talk to us about it. You know, I like to think of it as like the bumper stickers we put on our cars. Some people have a bumper sticker that might say, "Proud parent of a middle school honor student." And then someone else, "My lacrosse player can beat up your middle school honor student." I also like to think of those little stick figures that we put on the back of our SUVs. You know, the ones that show how many dogs we have, how many cats we have. Do we like to snowboard and play lacrosse or ride mountain bikes? We use those to show people who we want them to see, what they want to talk to us about. I know that's true because as hard as I've looked across the country for a stick figure that shows a slightly overweight divorced father who's afraid of spiders and loves pro wrestling. Trust me, it doesn't exist. You know, I learned an important lesson about decorating the outside of my bag several years ago. I finished my doctoral work at the University of Oregon, and I really wanted people to call me doctor. So every time there was a chance on a credit card application or on when you go for a flight on Expedia, you're like, "Doctor." And my little girl, she was about 5 at the time, she was scared to death that I was going to become a doctor because she thought that doctors gave shots. And so every time I was telling her I was going to school, she said, "Dad, don't be a doctor. I don't want any more shots." And so I explained to her one day, not all doctors give shots and help people. Some doctors just study things. Well, not long after that, she had a little friend over after kindergarten, and her friend says, "So Katie, your dad's a doctor?" And she replies, "Oh, don't worry, he won't give you shots. He's not the kind that can help people." I was reminded in that moment, what I put on the outside of my bag really isn't as nearly important as what's on the inside of that bag, the things that I carry around with me. And trust me, I carry some stuff around with me. I'm going to look in my bag today and tell you what I find. I open up that bag and I see that I don't run as often as I would like to. In fact, this morning when I was debating between bacon and running, I was just happy I invested in Spanx. There are other things in that bag. There's my childhood where I grew up in poverty, eating free lunch all the time at school. And it's weird to think that today in my 40s that still affects me. Because sometimes I forget I'm not that kid that had to carry that burden around. And then I look in there and there's fragments of a horrible divorce that came up spontaneously and shocked me and left me with pain and bitterness. In that bag, there's my firstborn child. She was born at just under 22 weeks. She weighed 1 pound and 1 ounce. And she took one breath and she passed away. And for years, I've carried that around with me, those things in my bag, thinking that I was the only one that had that. And while my experience is unique, the fact that I have a bag full of stuff is not. We all have those things. I think the thing I carry around most in my bag is that I want to be a good father. I have this 16-year-old daughter that counts on me. And I want to be a stand-up guy. I want to be the kind of father that when she goes away to college, she says, "Man, I miss my dad." Not because he won't give me shots, but because she knows I love her. And people that know me know that the stuff inside my bag is what drives me to want to be a good father. I had a great role model in my own father, and I had those experiences that carry me. The reason I share that with you today is because I think if we all were capable of asking the question, what's in your bag, we could create a more compassionate world. I mean, the fact that we dress these bags up is amazing because oftentimes we go into rooms of people and then we do our best to hide that bag because we're scared to death that if someone looked inside our bag, if they saw our brokenness, they wouldn't love us. And the amazing part is, it's our brokenness that allows us to love others. And so my thought is this: we could create a more compassionate world simply by asking the question, what's in your bag? Imagine if the people who knew you the best, imagine if you were able to share with them what's inside your bag, what weighs you down, the way you trudge around every day holding on to this stuff that you're worried about. But it's not just the worries, it's also the hopes. Maybe inside you is a poem you're dying to write or a song you're dying to sing. For me, it's a pro wrestling podcast I'm dying to make. But I'm scared if I tell people that, they won't love me. And now that I've told you, maybe I'll just slap that on the outside of my bag. I want you to imagine how your world might change if you took the time to share what was inside your bag. Imagine how the world might change if you were curious enough to ask somebody else, what's in your bag? Imagine a world filled with compassion because each and every one of us was truly curious about what's in your bag. Thank you.